He got up in front of us and he said something that really stuck with me. He said that the things that we go through, the things that we live through, as far as us in the refuge, are things that he doesn't even want to think about. So I thought about that for a while, and I just wondered why God would use us in ways that he uses us. It's amazing when we go places. The people at these places are just like so drawn to us. They see a light in us, and it's very encouraging to see that. So I was digging in Scripture. Something that's always been close to my heart is the prodigal son. So I'm going to read this to you real quick. The prodigal son's about a son who got his inheritance early, and he took off and left his father. Let's see. So when he went out and he plundered his money and his inheritance, I'm led to believe that he's probably spending on prostitutes and things of the world and stuff like that. And the thing that really amazes me is that there was another son too who actually stuck it through with his father. He didn't leave his father. He stuck it through and he was there with his father. But this one boy that left, like his father would like look for him and look for him over and over and over. He would like stand, and I like to think he would stand there and look for him all the time, wanting his son to come back. So in Luke 15:20, let's see. The son starts coming back. Off in the distance, the father sees the son. And back in the culture back then, the Jewish men, they wouldn't run, because when they ran, they would have to like tie up their tunic. And then they would like show their bare legs, and that would be shameful for them. So, but in this certain parable here, it talks about the father seeing the son off in the distance, and the father like taking off running with compassion towards his son. And I'm like, wow, man, when I studied this out, and they talk about how the men never ran, but this guy ran towards his son. The son said to the father, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." So right there, the son is like, asking for forgiveness. But the father said to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was once dead and is alive again. And he was lost and now found." So they began to celebrate. So for us here in the refuge, God and Jesus has given us everything that we can ever, desire. He gives us everything that you ever wanted. But we turned away and ran away and went somewhere else. But then as soon as you turn around and go back towards him, he's just there waiting for you. And he just runs after you, and his love is just so great. So here in the refuge, just like what we all have encountered here, as far as what's going on here, the things that I ask myself, and I challenge the other brothers here, is does our faith have an impact on others? Does our faith change others' lives? Does our faith have a spiritual significance on people's outlook? Can we speak a word in the right moment and create and cultivate existence into a spiritually dead situation? Does our love cast out every single fear? Can people look at us and say, "It's only because of Jesus I see Jesus"? The refuge is so great, where I come from. I come from Dayton, Ohio. And a couple months ago, I was watching the news. And on the news, they said that 31 people had died of a heroin overdose in 2 days. And they didn't even have enough room in the hospitals for the bodies. They had to put them in they had to rent out these coolers and put them outside the morgue. People need to know the real answer. I've been a doctor, psychologist, I've been to different places, I've seeked medication, and nothing's ever worked. And then as soon as I turned towards Jesus, I finally found the answer. So I would just encourage everybody, we have the kingdom of heaven. God has given us the kingdom of heaven, and we need to relay the message to all the people out there who are suffering and don't know the answer. The people that are walking around and just look lost and dead, there is an answer, and we have that answer, and we must not let one person walk by us without telling them the answer. It's we have the kingdom of heaven in our hands, and we're choosing whether or not to let somebody in or not by a word. So we really need to be encouraged by that. Thank you.